Hi. How's it going? Trump won.
Oh.
No, I know. That was such a juxtaposition to the holiday cheer. And I'm so sorry. And I knew that was my opener when they were singing Jingle Bells, and I was like, well, no time to change it. So, anyways, yeah. I don't need to go down that rabbit hole. I only just bring it up because I want y'all to know it put me in a specific kind of predicament. Because I didn't think that was going to happen. I was very confident that wasn't going to happen. And so I told many people, like a lot of people, if he wins, I'm leaving this country. I'm out of here. I'm leaving the country. He wins, I'm gone. You'll never see me again. And I'm still here. So I just say stuff. Sometimes we just say stuff, which is just a reminder to me. A lot of us have a lot of contradictions, okay? We live within these contradictions. Like, in general, I'm a nonviolent person, okay? I don't like violence, okay? I got pictures of MLK in my house. But a few weeks ago when Mike Tyson was fighting that, kid from YouTube, I found myself, screaming at my TV, knock him on the ground, finish him, Mike. And I was like, oh, my God, what is happening? And that fight ended up taking a sad turn the other way. I promise it's not all sad here. I've got some, I'm going to bring us up. But the other contradiction I experience a lot is, if you ask me about climate change, I'm like, yes, this is the issue of our generation. Okay, we've got to do something. We've got one planet, we've got one world. I'm with Greta. Until my paper straw starts dissolving in my coffee, and I'm like, you know what? Give me the microplastics. Put them in my body. Dump them in the ocean. We can't live like this, okay? I can't live like this. I'm not drinking on pieces of cardboard, and I'm not the only one. It's not just me. Universally, I feel like a few years ago, everyone just universally, we all knew we hated needles. Everyone hated needles until we found out that's the only way to get Ozempic. And now everyone's like, no, I wanted to be a nurse in college, so this actually it works out great for me. But one thing I believe in, with no contradiction, just 100%, I mean, aliens are real, right? We know this, right? Thank you, yes. There's no way. The space is so big, there's so many planets, there's so many opportunities, there has to be other life. But another thing I'm confident in is, they know about us because they have to be the superior beings. There's no way that in a galaxy this big, okay, a solar system this huge, Earth, humans are superior, okay? I want us just all, objectively, Earth is ghetto. We are, objectively, we are not Verizon, Earth is Boost Mobile. We are the where you at planet, okay? And we are obviously in the hood. I think we're the true crime podcast that aliens listen to, when they can't sleep and they're up in the middle of the night and they're like, let me see what they're doing down there, right? We got a lot going on here, a lot of things we need to fix. And I don't know that we're going to be able to fix them all, but one thing I've learned from being on Earth, and specifically being on Earth in America, is that if you can't fix a problem, just try to rebrand it. And we do this all the time, and usually it works. We do it with little things, hey, I feel weird dipping my fries in mayonnaise. Can I call it aioli? And they're like, sure. Higher education sounds a lot better than expensive extra high school. We rebrand and we rebrand. And I think possibly one of the greatest rebrands in the history of the world, in the history of our time here, is happening now. We're being able to witness it in real time, and it's incredible. Drugs have had an amazing few years of rebrand. Okay, and it's listen, I wish, the room where it happened in Hamilton, for me, that room is the marketing meeting where they said, what if instead of hard drugs, we called it plant medicine? That, you guys, chef's kiss, okay? That is incredible, and it worked. It worked so well. I was watching a documentary about opioids, okay, drugs. And the opioid crisis, okay, the drug crisis. And they're interviewing this guy, and he's, was addicted to opioids, and now he's sober. And they're like, man, how'd you do it? How'd you get clean? And he was like, ketamine. And I was like, wait, you guys, we're using drugs to get off drugs. That is how good of a rebrand they had. Imagine, it's all in the language. Because if I told you, hey, very happy to announce I'm here and I'm debt-free, and then you all clapped and you said, how'd you do it? And I said, I went to the bank, got a personal loan. Okay, it doesn't, the language isn't there yet, right? It's all in the language. And The thing about the drug rebrand, it's not even just the drugs. It's the way we use them has also been rebranded, because microdosing might be my favorite word to ever. Who microdoses? It's legal. You can raise your hand. Who's microdosing right now? Yeah. Microdosing, also known as just doing a little bit of drugs. And the best part is it's become niche. Like, there's like microdosing for focus, which also means just doing a little bit of drugs at work. And I love that for us. This is like the start of it, and we're witnessing this potential for rebrand, and I don't know how far it's gonna go, because can you imagine like how weird it would be if you were just like in your office one day and you just saw a random guy and you were like, is that guy watching porn in the middle of the day in the office? And then you're like, hey man, are you watching porn in the middle of the day in the office? And he's like, oh my God, no, I'm microdosing intimacy, and it's doctor's orders. But I don't want to sound like I'm scared of it. I'm not a Republican. I should have started there. But yeah, I said I was sad about Trump losing. That was the beginning. I mean, winning. Oh, God. See? Okay. But I am really happy for drugs. I'm happy for us. I'm happy for drugs. Well, I'm happy for some of the drugs. I'm happy for the drugs that made it. It's, I kind of feel like ketamine and mushrooms, like those are they're the guys who made it out of the hood and they made it to the league. Like they're like they're the ones who did it. And whenever that happens, like there's always someone who's back in the neighborhood who's like, oh, I was better than them. Like if it wasn't for my knee injury, like if I didn't take that tackle, like that would be me. Like I was twice as good, twice as strong. Like I should have been there, And part of me feels like crack has to be like sitting on a porch somewhere, like watching mushrooms sign with Johnson & Johnson and being like, God, I'm twice as cheap. I'm twice as strong. That could have been me if only I didn't kill Whitney Houston. Oh God, I'm so sorry. That's my last joke. That's my time, everyone.